Hello people, it's Crackernack and Inspirational here, back with another video. So, look at me getting in the Christmas spirit. But, yeah, so thank you for the 500. I just want to say that in case you didn't watch my 500 special, which should have, because that would have been posted before this video. And so make sure you go and watch that if you want me to probably watch me having that. If you want to have, God, get out in a freaking minute. Let's start again. If you want to watch me getting my mouth burnt and have a laugh from it, go and watch it. Check it out. It's my 500 special, so thank you for getting to my main channel to 500. Nevertheless, let's crack on with this video. So if you could drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that lovely jubbly stuff, because we're on the road to 600 now. 600, baby! Yeah. And so let's crack on what this video is going to be about. So I said last week I was going to do my top 5 UFC MMA fighters. So this week I'm doing my top 6 Kung Fu fighters. I thought I'd do a separate list on both of them. So if you're more into UFC MMA, go and check that one out. But if you're into Kung Fu, like me, or both, because I love MMA and Kung Fu, and then watch this one. I want to just say, first of all, do not expect Bruce Lee to be mentioned on this list. I don't. He's not one of my favourites. I haven't even got any of his films. Now, that's not. Don't shoot me in the comments and start fucking, going, oh, he's a legend and all that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I fully respect Bruce Lee. He is an absolute legend of the game and probably the person that did bring MMA, mixed martial arts, Kung Fu to the limelight. But to me, he's just not someone that I personally enjoy watching or isn't one of my favourites. So nevertheless, let's start with number 6. Number 6, Mr. Jet Li. There's a main reason why I like Jet Li a lot is his different styles. So what I mean by that is you watch some of his... If you watch like Unleashed, which is personally one of my favourites, and what introduced me to Jet Li, it's a very aggressive style on that one, very fast paced. Whereas you've watched some of his more recent stuff, like Jet Li the One, well that's not recent because unfortunately he hasn't done any recent films, it's very more slow paced and whatnot, not too much in your face. And if you watch some of his really old stuff, and I'm talking way back in the day, it's more Kung Fu based. Obviously all this latest stuff, Unleashed and the One and Kung Fu, because that's obviously a style, but I mean if you watch the 3 of them, they're all completely different styles. Like I said back in the day, it's really Kung Fu focused. The more latest ones he does are more slowed down, or the one should I say, and then Unleashed is more fast paced in your face. So that's why he's my 6th favourite. On to number 5. He's my 6th favourite. On to number 5, and someone who I've been recently getting really into and been watching a lot recently, and I'm probably going to be watching one of his martial art films tomorrow. I've just ordered a few more of his. Is Michael J. White. But this one is reason I've really got into him lately because I saw him in Undisputed 2, and I kind of started reading up on him, researching as I do with any martial artist, and that's how I kind of got into him. What I like about him is he's a very counteractive fighter. Now I'm only basing this off of the few films I've seen because I haven't seen loads of his films, but in Undisputed 2, Blood of Moon, Falcon Rise I'm going to be watching tonight hopefully, he's very a counter fighter, which there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't watched the Never Back Down series, so don't shoot me in the comments. I expect in those films he's more MMA based, but yeah, he's just a very slow counter attacker which can be very effective and very useful. And he's just an amazing kickboxer. So let's go on to someone who's very similar to him in a way, I suppose you would say. Mr. Scott Adkins. And the reason I like Scott Adkins because he's a very aggressive, but somewhat aggressive fighter, but also some of the kicks he can pull off, it's just like, whoa. Like, how the fuck did he pull that off kind of thing. Like, in Undisputed 3 or 2, I believe it is, where he does like the falling back, like falling kick to the face as he's falling to his back, and there's some other really fucking over the top moves like that. I just think he's such an awesome martial artist, a very strong kickboxer, and as someone who does kickboxing, someone I can relate to. I know John Van Damme is a very good kickboxer, but another film I've watched him in, Debt Collectors. It's a very different film compared to his other films. Bit more comedy, But again, he's very good at that. He can do comedy films, he can do action, he can mix the two together, or he can do straight martial arts. But the Debt Collectors, which one I recently watched, I think last weekend, had a few drinks with me, but I still watched it. You know, weekend, you gotta enjoy yourself, you gotta have a bit of local fun. But yeah, that's the point. I watched the Debt Collectors, and again, he was very good kickboxer, but a different kind of, you know, style. Not different style, but just different kind of way he done the kicks and whatnot. It's not always flashy stuff for him, but it's very effective. You know. So someone who, like I said, is doing kickboxing myself, I'd love to get to his level. Coming in at number 3. I think that's number 3, yes, number 3. Mr. Tony Young. Someone who is very similar to number 1, which I will obviously say in a bit. But the reason I love his films is because he's very Brazilian kickboxing, I believe he's done, which I think is very different from our kickboxing. But I just love how he's very effective with the environment. He uses a lot of the violence to do his attacks, like Armbaka, or Armbak, as I'm probably saying it wrong. He uses an elephant quite effectively in that, and it's just loads of other films where he just uses the environment to his well-being so well to pull off so many amazing moves. Like one point he does a diving knee down through a window. I love how he uses the double knees and the knee strikes very effectively. Out of all the martial artists I've seen, I would say he probably does the double knee / knee the best. It can sometimes be overused, but you know, and the fact that he does those stunts as well just adds that to make it a little bit better. Top 2. Mr. Number 2, Mr. Donny Young himself. The reason I love Donny Young is just because he's a master of so many different styles, and whatever film you watch is always a different style. A great example of this is the IP series, or IP series. I'm probably saying that wrong as well, don't watch me. But obviously in that series he's playing a character who's mainly focused on Wing Chun, and he uses it very effectively, and it's very good. But then if you watch another really good film of his, Flashpoint, which is an amazing film, especially the last fight scene, he uses a lot of MMA. You know, wrestling, submissions, because at one point he locks an armbar, he wrestles, kickboxing, boxing, whatever you want to think of it, he does it in that film. So that style, he does more of like an MMA style. And I could go on and on and on. There's just loads of films. Iceman series, that's very more traditional Kung Fu style he does in it. I could go, like I said, on and on. There's just so many films he's done and so many different styles he does in the films. Like I've said in the MMA special, if you've never watched that, he has literally mastered so many martial art practitioners and studied so many, and how fast he completes some of them as well. Like he completed Wing Chun within 8 months. It's just like, wow. So that's why he's number 2, just because of the fact that he's mastered so many styles. So number 1, like this should be pretty obvious, Mr. Chucky Chan himself. The reason why I've put him number 1 is because he's not on, say, an amazing martial artist compared to Donny Young or Michael J. White or people like that. Like, don't go wrong, he is a freaking good martial artist. But the reason why I put him number 1 is because to this day I think his films are just so iconic, and they just inspired so many people. Like Tony Jaa does same stunts, Chucky Chan has been doing it for years. And I just got all my respect for him in the, really, that's the main thing, is just because the amount of bones he's broken, the amount of stunts he does by himself, and he just still comes back and back. You know, his most recent stuff, he doesn't do as many wild stunts, he still does, because I watched Bleeding Edge, I think it is, or the latest one he did, sci-fi one he did, which, Bleeding Steel, which is, you know, a decent film, and there is a few stunts in there, but not loads. But just some of his old classics, like the original Police Stories 1 and 2. Alright, number 1's better than number 2. There's just so many like things he does that you think like, whoa, like shit me. And I think, and also the fact that you can just mix comedy with action as well, it just makes it so much better. And he's just done so many films. He's just an icon, simply. You know, there's nothing, even his films to this day, like the Police Stories, I think still stand up to some modern ones, just because of the stunt factors in them and all that sort of stuff, and the fact he does those stunts. So yeah, number 1, Mr. Chucky Chan, like I said, not Bruce Lee, I'm not I respect what he's done for this MMA Kung Fu, and his film's just not a fan of him personally. So I'm being an inspiration to him. Make sure you sub to the channel, like I said. I will catch you next week. I'm not sure what next week's videos is. It might only be one video next week. We will see. But just keep an eye on the channel. And yeah, I will see you later. Cheers. Bye.